Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to explore something truly fascinating. We are looking at how ancient Vedic wisdom maps out the exact journey from your own personal daily drive all the way up to the ultimate evolution of human civilization. It's this incredible framework called Dhruva Chaitanyam, and honestly, it is going to completely change how you view your own goals and the society we all live in.
But before we zoom out to the grand scale of civilizations, let's actually start right here with you. Think about this. What happens when you achieve your goals, but you still feel aimless? You know the feeling, right? You get that promotion, you buy the house, you finish the degree, and yet there's this lingering feeling of, okay, well, what now? That deeply frustrating feeling of aimlessness, that is exactly where our ancient texts begin their exploration of human purpose.
To really unpack this, we need to start with a concept called lakshyam. Think of lakshyam as your guiding purpose in life. It's your essential anchor. If you don't have this, the texts describe you as nirlakshyam, which essentially means someone lacking a guiding purpose, someone just drifting or living carelessly. But what is it that actually pushes us toward our lakshyam? Well, that is Maya. Now, Maya is often misunderstood purely as an illusion, but in this specific context, Maya is the very practical, dynamic motivator, propelling you forward and forcing you to take action. Okay, let's dive into this with our roadmap for today. We'll cover 1. Finding your guiding purpose. 2. Dhruvam, the ultimate anchor. 3. The Raja, organizing action. 4. Devas, building the institutions. 5. Rashtram, the Dharma society. And finally, 6. The evolution of society.
Section 1. Finding your guiding purpose.
Let's take a closer look at Maya. As we said, Maya is that dynamic force pushing us to achieve. And here's the really brilliant part of this ancient psychology. Once you actually attain a goal, Maya acts to reveal the transient, temporary nature of that fulfillment. It makes you realize, oh, my recent achievement wasn't actually the end-all be-all. And it immediately urges you onward to seek new, higher objectives. It's crucial because it keeps your mind from scattering. It's literally the engine continuously pushing civilized life toward growth.
Section 2. Dhruvam, the ultimate anchor.
So, if Maya pushes you through short-term goals, what stabilizes you? That would be Dhruvam. Dhruvam is your ultimate purpose, the absolute highest guiding star in your life. It's the pursuit of those pinnacle goals that permanently anchor you. And the active awareness of this highest aspiration is what we call Dhruva Chaitanyam. This concept is so central to our humanity that Dhruvam is invoked during major cultural milestones. Think about it. Whether it's a marriage, a massive festival, or the establishment of an enduring institution, invoking Dhruvam creates a profound sense of meaning and continuity that extends way beyond just a single human lifetime. We actually see this clearly codified in the ancient texts. Take this pivotal mantra from the Rig Veda, specifically from the Rajanya Stuti. It goes, Dhruvam te Raja Varuno, Dhruvam deva Brihaspati, Dhruvam te Indrashjagnischa, Rashtram dayatam Dhruvam. Traditionally, this very powerful verse is recited during the coronation of leaders. Why? Because it serves to instruct them directly on the precise progression that society absolutely must follow if it wants to sustain its highest ideals. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the exact 3-step evolutionary blueprint it lays out for civilization. Step 1 is the Raja, acting as the organizer. Step 2 elevates to the Devas, representing enduring institutions. And Step 3 culminates in the Rashtram, the ultimate Dharma society. Let's break down exactly what each of these evolutionary tiers means in practice, starting right at the foundation. Section 3. The Raja. Organizing action. Traditionally, we tend to translate a Raja as a king or a ruler sitting on some golden throne, but Swami Vivekananda provided a remarkably profound redefinition: an organizer. A Raja is simply anyone who can effectively coordinate 10 people to do in one day what would normally take one person 10 days. This is a massive aha moment for sure. You don't need a crown to be a Raja. A Raja is literally any individual who brings multitudes together to effectively organize collective physical effort. The source text expands on this with a really vivid metaphor, comparing the Raja to Varuna, the rain god. Think about it. Getting a skilled organizer is exactly like getting rain for farming. A proper balance of organization brings a great, highly productive yield. But excess authority? Well, that brings devastating floods that wash away our freedom. And a lack of organization altogether? That brings a drought where absolutely nothing productive can grow. Skilled organizers, these Rajas, are attained through deep austerity and dedication. and they're the individuals who physically bind our society together through their actions. Section 4. Divas, building the institutions. So, as we move up, there is a absolutely critical difference between our first two tiers. While the Raja is an individual who binds society with physical actions, the Diva represents institutional entities. They bind society not through physical force, but through intellectual cohesion and shared values. If you want a modern analogy, think of divas as our think tanks, our universities, and our vast educational ecosystems. They are the permanent bodies that preserve knowledge and actively shape the minds and habits of the culture at large. To illustrate this even further, the mantra equates the diva with Brahaspati. Brahaspati literally translates to the owner of expansiveness. It's such a gorgeous metaphor. Institutions represent this higher principle of growth and expansiveness. They operate on ideas and values that easily outlast individual human lives. The Raja might govern today's immediate actions, but the divas, the institutions, inhabit a much higher realm that ensures tomorrow's continuity. Section 5. Rostram, the Dharma Society. So, what exactly is a rastram? First and foremost, it embodies Dharma, which is eternal knowledge that completely transcends time, place, and context. Second, its citizens are highly self-motivated and deeply self-disciplined. Third, because of this intense internal discipline, the entire society operates naturally on autopilot. And finally, it requires constant renewal. You see, a rastram is not some conventional state maintained by rigid laws, a heavy police force, or strict external enforcement. Not at all. It's a highly evolved society where the ideals of Dharma are so deeply internalized into the culture that the social order functions seamlessly. It is truly the highest collective achievement a civilization can attain. Section 6. The evolution of society. And this brilliantly illustrates how every single stage of a civilization carries its own very specific vulnerabilities. If the dominant force is the Raja, the individual, the societal risk is tyranny, like one person subordinating everything to their own will. If the Deva, the institution, holds overwhelming influence, the risk is intoxication. Institutions can easily become drunk on their own power, much like mythological portrayals of Indra, and regress to ordinary human flaws. Finally, even the rastram, driven by Dharma itself, carries the massive risk of complacency and regression. A rostrum must continually renew its foundation in Dharma because natural forces will inevitably pull perfectly balanced conditions back to an ordinary equilibrium. It's literally like gravity. Even the most idealized, perfectly functioning society is not permanently safe. It demands constant effort, constant education, and constant renewal to avoid regressing back into lower forms of organization. Perfection, as they say, is a practice. It's definitely not a permanent destination. Which leads us to a final, incredibly powerful question for us today. Is our modern society currently driven by individuals, by institutions, or by a shared sense of Dharma? Think about where we sit right now on that evolutionary blueprint. Are we too reliant on Rajas to force physical action? Are we leaning way too heavily on Devas, just expecting institutions to fix everything for us? Or are we actually doing the tough, internal work to build a self-disciplined rastram? It is a truly profound lens through which to view our world. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep reflecting, and I will see you next time.